Hi, my name is Everett Roth, and today I will be talking to you guys about chronic sleep deprivation and delaying school start times. So, do you guys remember back in middle school and high school having to wake up before the crack of dawn when it was still dark outside with your parents jolting you awake or your siblings yelling or your alarm clocks going off just to get ready and go to school when you're supposed to be alert but you still felt like you were in a sleeping state? Well, this is due to chronic sleep deprivation. After heavily researching and having my own personal experiences with this, I deeply understand the consequences of chronic sleep deprivation and what it causes for students and the community as a whole. Current school start times nationwide are significantly earlier than the suggested time, causing many negative effects for students and the communities as a whole. This can be fixed by passing a federal policy that delays school start times to 8:30 a.m. at the earliest. So today I will be talking to you about how school start times affect chronic sleep deprivation. So why is school starting early and forcing teens to wake up early an issue in the first place? Well, forcing students to wake up hours before their biological clocks tell them to is taking away valuable sleep time that they should have. According to Stanford Medicine in 2014, 8 to 10 hours is recommended, but less than 13% of high school students are getting this. As you can see here, these are the different amount of times that people should be sleeping based on their age. And keep in mind that 8 hours is actually the minimum, and you should be shooting for something closer to 10 if you are in the teenage age category. The last few hours of sleep are greatly associated with dreaming and leads to increased learning and emotional processing and memory consolidation, according to the National Sleep Foundation of 2017. So as you can see, there's more deep sleep in the earlier phases of the night, and closer to the morning, there's actually more dreaming, which contributes to the benefits I just said. According to the Neurology Times of 2016, once teenagers hit puberty, their melatonin levels begin to be released later on in the night, closer to 11 p.m. This is causing them to fall asleep later and wake up later. However, they're not able to wake up later because schools force them to wake up so early. So, students who have to wake up and be alert and ready at school at 7:30 a.m., based on their melatonin levels and circadian rhythm, is equivalent of adults having to be ready and alert at work at 5:30 a.m. Attributes including irritability, laziness, depression, and more can be from chronic sleep deprivation, even though they have long been characterizing teens, according to the National Sleep Foundation of June of 2017. Also, chronically sleep-deprived teens are 55% more likely to drink alcohol and use substances. Additionally, their attention span is shortened. The risk of suicide, obesity, heart disease, and diabetes is heightened. So of the 56.6 million students that are currently enrolled in school in the U.S., 15.1 million of them are in high school and even more in middle school, facing these same issues. This is leaving a whole generation of Americans to be chronically sleep deprived and facing these issues. Current educational practices is causing their students detrimental harm and causing them to do unnatural things, such as consume large amounts of caffeine just to stay awake and alert throughout the day. Passing a federal policy that delays school start time will promote a healthier and better learning environment. So a lot of people claim or think that delaying school start time will only delay the time that they go to bed. But a study done by McGill University shows that districts who have already delayed their school start time have seen no later bedtime for their students, which means they're sleeping more in the morning and all in all as a whole. Some other counter arguments include increased transportation costs, school sports and club schedules have to be altered, and care before or after school may have to be provided for certain families. These are valid and legitimate concerns, but districts who have already switched to delayed have delayed their school start times have dealt with these effectively and quite easily. Despite districts in the country as a whole must work through this to provide a better educational experience for our youth. The concerns of this are outweighed by the positive effects. So what will change? Well, all in all, students will sleep more. This will mean they will learn more effectively, they'll have better memory consolidation, and greater attention to detail and their instructors. One district saw a 55% decrease in absences and a 4.5% higher average final grade in classes, according to the James Urton of UW News in December of 2018. Also, students are less likely to drop out and have a 70% decrease in car crashes, according to teens with earlier school start times have higher crash rates of 2014. This does make sense, because when you're combining tired teens and driving, it's not a good combination. In fact, if you're driving with less than 5 hours of sleep, it's equivalent to driving with a blood alcohol concentration higher than the legal limit. So, if the policy is passed, we'll have a safer community as a whole, a better learning environment for students, and healthier generations of American. However, if it's not passed, we're going to have the school effectiveness for learning is going to continue to decline. We're going to have unhealthy future generations of Americans, and safety is at a greater risk than if it was delayed. So with all the research and statistics that have gone into it, it should be a no-brainer. Delayed school start times will have a significant positive impact on students and the communities. Federal policy banning school starts earlier than 8:30 will ensure that nationwide students are not sleep deprived due to school start times. So I'm calling for you to write out or speak to government officials and school board members when you have the opportunity to push this policy into action. Or you can just advocate for this when you're given the opportunity. Thank you so much for your time and for listening.